Welcome to Jumbo and Jake Radio. It's episode 216. It's May 21st. It's not really May 21st. It's actually May 20th. We're recording this the night before because Jake is going on the open road, heading down south for Memorial Day, and we're going to let him get his day started earlier. So, we recorded earlier this morning, Jake. How much has happened? How's your day going? Haven't seen you in 2 hours.
It's Thursday. It's Thursday morning, Jim. It's the Hollywood magic. It's Thursday. I'm on the road. I'm coming live from the road. We're driving down to South Carolina, Tega K, if you remember correctly. So all the JJR Tega K fans come throw eggs at my girlfriend's parents' house. I'm doing all right. Doing good on energy, and I think we've got a roadmap for the rest of the night that seems pretty foolproof. 2-part finale to Masked Singer. Everybody's talking about it. We'll see what happens there. We have a favorite Mexican food place. I haven't updated you on that.
That's huge.
And we'll be getting that for dinner tonight. So the roadmap is there. I will have to pack at some point. We know the situation that is for me, opening a suitcase and throwing that clothes in the aforementioned suitcase. So that shouldn't be too problematic. And then, wake up before mom tomorrow, before she comes and snags us. Got to take Noodle for a nice dub, so he'll be calm in the car. And that's the game plan. Otherwise, I'm generally well. I've built some things. I'm living. How are you?
I'm good. Looking like you're going to pass through Edison, New Jersey.
I could see that. I could see a world where that happens.
And then maybe, Aberdeen, Maryland. Been there. Nice baseball complex in Aberdeen. It's a nice place. People like it.
True.
Might go through Alexandria, We'll remember the Titans action. Fredericksburg, Civil War stuff.
I'm actually excited. I had a nice loser moment with Jess. And when you start getting old and you get excited about dumb stuff, I think the drive, the highway that's north of Charlotte, so like driving Virginia to Charlotte, I don't think I've done that drive. So I'm excited for that.
North of Charlotte. You mean
so like we're driving through Charlotte because it's
you are. Okay, yeah. I don't have you going that way.
Well, it's right outside of Charlotte. So the drive from wherever we going through Virginia, through North Carolina, I haven't done that drive yet. So I'm excited to see that.
I have you taking the 95, but according to you, you're going to be taking the 66.
It would appear so, Jim.
Seems like there's a lot of road work right now. I don't know what there's going to be tomorrow. So you might not be going through Richmond then. You'll go through Charlottesville.
Whole route's changed.
Yeah, you're not going to go through Durham anymore, which, would have been a lot of fun for you.
No, I think I am going through Durham. So now let's not even talk about it because who cares?
I was confusing Charlotte and Charlottesville. That's what happened here. I'm doing good, man. I was doing so good.
Meatloaf?
Well, it's done. And now Katie might be eating alone, which makes me feel so terrible.
Ooh.
But it was very awkward timing. Make you guys wait half hour longer and maybe run into show trouble or rip this out and then eat. She's doing a workout right now, but the meatloaf is done. But you let it sit to congeal. This is a different meatloaf. I used veal instead of turkey as the fourth meat because I bought a pack that had that. And then I got the sweet and hot sausage. I didn't get the classic ones you buy. I went to the butcher and I was like, yeah, give me a pound of sweet and a pound of spicy.
I get a pound of the sweet and a pound of the spicy, huh?
Yeah. He didn't say a word, which is how you want your deli guys to be. Can I get a pound of sweet? Can I get a pound of spicy? And they just don't even acknowledge it at all. No head nod, no yes, no. They just go do it. Next time you see them, they just hand you a white envelope type thing wrapped up and you just say, thanks, man. And they still don't say you're welcome. That's not a word. That's how I want my butcher to be.
So I had that when I found my new grocery store. And that's our game plan when we go in there. I go straight to the deli. I want to knock it out. You
Mm-hmm.
know, you can't be at the end of your shopping trip waiting on the deli. So I go there, and the first couple times, I mean, we're deadpan. I'm going pound of white American cheese. I'm getting nothing but a pound of white American cheese. And so what I did, I mean, classic approach. And again, kids, feel free to steal this because this is what we do at John Boy Media. Kill them with kindness.
Oh yeah.
So I just dropped these like heavy. Thanks, man. Appreciate you, bro. And now we
Oh, yeah.
finally got to the level where he says, like, if I order some, he's like, all right. Like he'll say a word, which I like. I think that's a sign of love in the deli meat community.
I had this guy at just shout it out, Fairway Market.
Shout out.
And I went to get like some sliced cuts, just like you know what they'd call him in the old days, just a mean son of a bitch or a mean cuss. And like, just so I walked up and I was like, how's it going, man? No response, which I'm fine with.
Right.
And then I said, can I get a pound of turkey? Whatever. And he's like, what kind of turkey? And I was like, I was like, my bad. I said, oh, my bad. And I looked up and I was like, let's go with the honey. I don't know what I said. Honey, whatever. First one I saw because I didn't want to waste any more of his time. He goes, we're out of that. I said, and I thought it might be like a pandemic thing. I'm like, all right, like which ones do you have available right now? And he was like, all but that. Just so pissy about it. Ooh. So then later on, I go to the coffee bean guy, and I'm having a blast with the coffee bean guy.
Oh, okay.
He's like, what do you want? I'm like, there's so many coffee beans at this place. There's like 20 barrels of beans. He's like, which one do you want? I'm like, to be honest, dude, do you know which one like has the most wakes me up ability? I didn't say those words. Like, what's going to get me the most up? He was like, I don't work in this department, man. I'm just here right now. And I'm like, oh, okay, fool. Yep. Give me that one. My girlfriend likes hazelnut. We had a great time. We're talking. And then the mean guy walks by. And he like shoots him a look. And I go, oh, that guy's pretty mean, huh? And he goes, he's a bitch.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh.
So I got the inner dynamics of that place queued up. So anyway, but the butcher, like that has the blood-stained apron, not the sandwich slicer cutter, dude. The butcher. Those guys are...
butchers never interacted with a human.
They're butchers don't interact with humans.
He's made a career choice to hack up meat. Yes.
You know what a butcher is? It's when like you're born with demons, but you have enough sense to not act on them.
Okay.
Some people are born with demons, Jake, and they got to like harness them at all times, and that's what a butcher is. That's how he takes out his aggression on the animals that are already dead. It's better that way.
See, I think it's more of the butcher has the highest appreciation for animals, which you wouldn't expect, but it's to such a level that he wants to take care of their meat even as they've passed and they continue to feed us. So I think the butcher, you're right. I mean, there's some dark stuff about using sharp objects to chop up formerly live creatures all day, but someone's got to do it.
Oh, someone's got to do it. Oh, yeah. So anyway, the meatloaf is ready, and I think it's going to be good.
It's pretty exciting.
Yeah. Katie made artichokes, and I pulled a leaf off and had some, and it was really good. So pumped to get out there. I just had a funny interaction with our lawyer.
Okay.
He represents the other side as well. So he was like, okay, hold up.
Nice.
I represent them too. It's like, okay.
It's called a quick timeout.
Yeah, it's kind of like, I was like, do you want me to keep going? And he was like, yeah. So that was fun.
Tough spot.
And then, I talked to whatever. I hate having to keep like secrets. I don't know if I'm supposed to talk to the LeBron Doc people too, which I don't know if I'm supposed to say or not say or whatever, but yeah, chatted with them.
I think they want you saying that. I mean, like the rumor's out,
I'm not part of it though, yet.
Right.
They want me to be. I want to be. It's just, we figure it out. They said they film in June. I was like, dude, like, do you have a haircut person on staff?
Have
You
you
know what I
hired a
mean?
haircut person?
Like, how am I going to get my haircut? I'm not going to be on a dock that lasts forever with a bad haircut.
Hair and makeup. Yeah.
Look at this.
Yeah. I mean, that's the equivalent to hat face.
Yeah.
If you're gonna mess up your hair and say, "Look how bad my hair looks," yeah,
I mean, it's hard to not have it messed up.
it just looked great a second ago. Looks kind of good there. It looks like your hair looks fantastic right now.
This is what I don't like. The sides just come out.
Sides are coming out a little bit, and that's where the gray kind of lands.
Yeah. Katie likes it
You
long
gonna
up top.
you gonna dye it jet black for the doc?
Imagine. No, my one thing was like, hey, there's a way that you can spin this to me being like a loser sleuth in his mom's basement hunting down videos, and I kind of wanted in writing that you're not going to present me that way because, we have a company here and this is like not, and he said he wouldn't, so we'll see.
And actually, I think the play is to stay gray. And dude, yeah, the play is to look bad. It's the classic wedding situation. I mean, if this thing gets out there to a lot of people, I mean, it'll still be an introduction to a lot of people for you. So you want to look bad. So when they see you in like 3 years, they're like, "Oh, that's the guy. He looks pretty good."
Instead, when actors always people meet them in real life, and they're like, "Oh, you're old," and they're like, "Well, that movie's 10 years old that you just last watched me in."
Right.
So I'll do the opposite. I'll Benjamin Button that.
Yeah.
I just I'll be like makeup lady, draw wrinkles on me. I want people to be impressed when they see me in person.
You want to look as bad as you can on your wedding day because those are the pictures that everyone sees for the rest of your life.
Yeah. Man, having so many people redo their wedding and just pushing it a year out, know? And I feel sorry for anyone that had a wedding planned. I do. And we have our graphic designer. Matt. Yeah, graphic designer. But I can't imagine like starting over and having to find another date and another venue and like doing it again. Like that, I would be like, I just fucking go to a courthouse and throw a party when this is done.
Well, that's the thing. I think everyone that I know, I think there's 3 weddings, including a graphic designer, Matt, one of Jess's friends, and then one of her family members. They did a full audible a year later, like same exact game plan, year later, the same weekend.
Yeah. Katie and I might take advantage of this, man. We just go to the courthouse and then sorry, it was pandemic.
Do it. Is the courthouse open? How does that work?
They're doing like virtual stuff, like DeAndre Baker's court hearing was all virtual. So it'd just be in our living room.
Okay.
It's easy.
Your dream.
Yeah, because then you don't insult anyone.
You can't.
Because that's the fear. Katie and I don't want anything to do with like.
That's perfect.
I know, right?
Say, oh, Clamdemic happened. What a shame. We're going to have a big beach party one day.
I know. It's perfect because we don't want a wedding.
See your hair like that, and we found a wedding picture.
We don't.
You had it.
We don't want a wedding, but we do want all the gifts that you get for your kitchen.
Right.
Like we could use some sharp knives, and Katie was like, "Maybe we should get married. We'll get some knives."
That's the battle.
All right. Well. You want to go into the sports? We got some sports since we last talked this morning.
We do have some sports.
AKA yesterday. Actually, we got like a big sports news.
I don't no snare in my headphones.
To be hearing music.
Jim, would you believe this? LeBron James says he was working out to join the NFL during the 2011 lockout. And what a precarious time to drop that news. Aldon Smith, BBD's favorite player in NFL history, has been reinstated. Sorry, BBD, he's kind of a bad guy, so I don't want that tied to you. The biggest news And I can't believe it's kind of not bigger news on the interstate right now. The NBA is circling like a mid-July return, with teams reporting to the Disney World bubble in June to get loose and get some games in. So like, okay.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, I didn't read this because we were doing stuff during the day and everything. So I need you to explain it to me, which is great. Explain it to the listeners who also didn't read this. NBA is officially coming back. Like, is this official, or is this a plan? What is this?
So, couple things. So let's reverse engineer this a little bit. The big guys, the Jeff Passan of NBA, Woj, and Shams, are reporting this stuff. So it's not like we're digging through the weeds, the Trevor Ploufs of the world. Like, where are you getting your shit, man? We're dealing with the big guys. The thing that was reported is that Disney was winning the bid to be the NBA bubble, which, again, think of this MLB world we've been trapped in, where it's like we're just begging for them.
You can't compare it. You can't compare.
I know, but again, like just put that twist. Say John Boy Media started with basketball, and that's how all of this was kind of done. NBA is having people bid to have them come through. MLB is still trying to figure out.
I know you're trying. You can't do that though. This isn't a bad look for MLB at all.
Oranges. No, and I never said that, Jim. I never said that. You're saying that. I'm just saying from the outside optics, everything you're saying, it is apples and oranges, and it's very different situations. But it's just funny how the world spins sometimes. You know, nobody planned on this pandemic. But yeah, they're reporting that Disney has won the bid. Obviously don't have numbers or anything on that, but yeah, the details are kind of have been leaked out. There's nothing official, but it's the official people saying it.
That's cool. So is it just going to be the playoffs? Is it going to be like what is it, just the playoffs? That's what we had heard.
So I think the interesting part of this rumor so far is that they do want to finish some regular season stuff, which I've kind of been heavy against to a degree, just because I think you bring in, like, there's only one or two teams in the West that could have a conversation like, we got screwed by the shortened season, which, again, think of everything we have to take into consideration here. But more so, I think the regular season games are to get some games in and get everybody in, game shape before they go to the playoffs, because that is a big thing as well. So I guess if you're going full bubble mode, it is worth it to bring in every team to make sure everyone can get into game shape and be healthy. Because otherwise I don't really understand the risk of bringing in 16 unnecessary teams. But I kind of exciting, I guess.
Really exciting if you're a basketball crazy person. That's awesome. And LeBron saying why is he the way he is?
It's again, I think I said it. I wrapped up talking Knicks with it yesterday, but man, and not only is MJ probably the best basketball player ever, and have that discussion on your own time, but he also plays the game perfectly. Like,
he's likable.
And he does it so well. Like, MJ made sure that the MJ doc that got dropped was on his time, and he had final cut on it. Like, everything MJ does is so very well calculated. Where LeBron, some of it is just swings and misses. And I don't know if it's being so disconnected and being a star from your time in high school. Cause I mean, MJ went to college and he was a guy. He wasn't like the number one pick in the draft. There was a time when Michael Jordan, wasn't a champion. Like, he was the guy that got beat by the Pistons and the Celtics. LeBron was always LeBron. And you wonder if that's part of the disconnect when he does the LeBron things that you're like, trying to make Taco Tuesday his own thing. And it's like, dude, us us normies have been doing Taco Tuesday for a while now with a couple marks. So I don't know. There's something that's always offbeat, but again, I'll circle around on it because it doesn't need to be focused on. Because end of the day, the fact, one of the most impressive things about LeBron is that he's become at least one of the top 2 basketball players ever, being in the spotlight in high school, never getting in real trouble. The biggest rumors we've heard about him is sending some like Instagram DMs. And like the fact that that's the biggest thing we have on LeBron, I mean, that's incredible.
Yeah, I don't know. I just kind of listened to it like he was on a podcast and they're asking about it. It says Jerry Jones even had a contract written up, and it's like, dude, no, you didn't.
What
no, you
timing?
weren't. No, you didn't. No, you weren't.
Oh, Jerry had something written up, Jim.
Sure. Dude.
No, Jerry Jones was on the phone and got a conversation with LeBron James. Said, LeBron, if you want to come play with the Dallas Cowboys, you let me know. And that's what happened.
Maybe we should work out to be whatever. That's a dumb story. So stupid. Like right after the whatever. What else was on the sports thing? Aldon Smith officially reinstated. You excited about that, BBD?
Oh, it's favorite player.
Yeah, I don't really care about Aldon Smith. Jake just keeps saying he's my favorite because it's a funny joke. But yeah, he was really good 4 years ago when he last played.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ! You sound like you love him.
You love Aldon Smith.
How do I look down at you? If you want to look at BBD, you do this. Talk to him like this. Hey, down there.
I always forget which way it is. BBD, did I miss anything with the NBA plan / updates? Anything live?
I haven't seen anything. But yeah, I mean, it seems to be like they've circled these dates and guidelines for stuff. So if it's happening, this is the way it's happening.
I'll say this: ultimate spin zone. And again, think of the world we were living in a month ago, a week ago. Everyone had their different moments. I mean, there's very much moments where people said, Shaq said cancel the NBA season. People thought the NBA season would be canceled. And, maybe this is a crazy spin, Jim, because it is apples and oranges still. But if you're MLB, I think you feel a little bit more pressure knowing that NBA would be coming back.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I was just saying, like, to bid on the bubble. Like, it is so much easier to put together a plan to play the remainder of the NBA playoffs than it is to play a full season of MLB. That you can't even compare it like the MLB didn't get any bids. Like, no, of course. So that's the only thing I was pushing back on. But the MLB definitely has pressure now. If there's major league sports, if there's professional sports being played, that puts some pressure on MLB. Like, let's stop being assholes to each other.
Let's not be asshats and become hockey.
Yeah. Damn. Back is killing me. Every time I say my back hurts, Doc Booch messaging me. But it's just from looking at however we look at this screen.
Oh, dude, I did I used the massager pretty intense today because I mentioned that I was using it on my legs for the first run and stuff. So I was using it on the neck and back too. Gave myself some like massage hickeys on each side. So it'll be fun to see if that comes up visiting Jess's family.
I beat the shit out of myself with that thing the first day.
It's brutal. And I'm in deep right now. Like I've already used it too much on my legs that like I think I'm going to be sore tomorrow, but I already know that. So I'm like, might as well go for it now.
Yeah, that's fine. I should start using it. Maybe I'll get rid of my shin splints. I'm pretty excited about that. I think that's all we got. I'm going to go to a quick halftime.
Okay.
It's a quick half, BBD. Pressure's on. What do you got? What state?
Well, they kind of just sent a follow-up report that like it is for sure Disney, which we kind of said before, but follow-up tweet. Today's state.
Say a goddamn
Rhode
state.
Island.
Yes,
Rhode
David.
Island.
That's a great pick.
There's a short half.
Mm-hmm.
Rhode Island is rather famously small, but has some good stuff going on. We had some good conversations and a couple good topics in there.
As a Connecticut guy, which I'm half, Rhode Island's bullshit, man. They just stole all of Connecticut's coastline. Like all of the parts of Connecticut
the good beaches.
all of the good beaches that could have made Connecticut like, you know, a nice economy and good money and stuff, Rhode Island just stole. You know what I mean?
I like Rhode Island.
And become one state.
Well, of course, it's a great state, but they stole all that could have been Connecticut.
I respect their game, man. They looked at the playbook. What's that country in Europe that has all the coast? Isn't it like Croatia?
Chile, Croatia. Yeah. I don't know about Croatia. Chile definitely stole this. They're like, we'll take the coast.
I mean, Chile, at least, like, they did so much of it. It's impressive. One of those European companies, one of those Euro companies over there.
It's Croatia. It's Croatia. They have all the coastline.
Dude, and it's like Croatia
stole Bosnia's entire coast there.
Croatia has Yacht Week. They're kind of known as these like tall European people. They've got this nice coast. They filmed some Game of Thrones stuff there. I mean, Bosnia's got bad vibes. And I'm sorry to all my Bosnian listeners, but
my brother's girlfriend's family is all from Bosnia, so won't have them listen to this episode, but
at my sister's wedding, there were 2 guests, both named Dragon, both from Croatia. Very popular name in that region. One's my uncle, Uncle Dragon.
Uncle Dragon.
Yeah, Croatia, stealing coast from. Damn, man, it's a crazy part. It's a lot of a cool Adriatic Sea. All right,
Baltics.
Rhode Island's a good state. BBD, I agree.
Do we have countries fighting for land still? I feel like we might have done this before, but like, has Bosnia ever been like, hey, give us some of that?
Bosnia-Croatia war. But the Croat-Bosnia War, it took place in 1992 to 1994.
Well, weren't there all the Bosnian refugees, right? So I guess that's tied to it, maybe?
That's what my brother's girlfriend's parents are.
There you go.
Dude, tough to be Bosnia and go to war with Croatia when Croatia literally has you surrounded.
They got you on all sides.
Like, I don't know who won the war, but do they have like winners? You know what I mean? Like, you know, is this going to be a war where like it says
just end
Bosnia won?
I feel like there was some bad guy stuff going on in politics in Bosnia. Maybe I dreamed that. I don't know.
A few years ago, like there's the Russia taking land from whichever country thing. There's like took back whatever.
God damn, they were started on the same side. You know, they started on the same side against Yugoslav, and then they turned on each other.
Good coach.
And now Yugoslav's like, okay, cool. You kill each other, we win. Damn. I'm not going to read the whole thing. I wish that they just had like a big like winner loser, like it was a baseball game. That's how my brain works.
Final score.
Yeah. I mean, they do have like death tallies.
Yeah.
Not as fun.
Not as fun as sports.
HVO was in a defensive stalemate against a progressively more organized RB. So that's the final. There you go.
Boris Yeltsin.
I read the news today, oh boy, and though the news was rather sad, well, I just had to laugh.
Well, it's 6 o'clock. Time for the news.
Joe Rogan signed a deal with Spotify that will bring his podcast to there exclusively starting next year. Candidates with the same name are running for the same political position. Oh. A police drone captures a giant penis moan into the West Cornwall field. A bull attempting to scratch its ass on a utility pole knocked out the electricity for more than 700 people in Scotland. And Chuck E. Cheese has been posing as a small local pizza restaurant to boost delivery sales during COVID lockdowns.
I read the news today, oh boy.
Chuck E. Cheese is a local pizza restaurant. I don't know. What does that mean? That's what they are. What's the conflict with Chuck E. Cheese?
Feels like a lazy headline because it's bad pizza. posing feels like a really rude word there.
Really? I mean, they are a pizza restaurant. Just because they offer games and a playground, like, doesn't also mean that they have waitresses and they have tables and seats and they cook pizza and you pay for it. Get off Chuck E. Cheese's ass.
Is it a link? Okay, here's a link.
I googled it.
So they're doing it on Philadelphia Grubhub seems to be where this article comes from. And yeah, I mean, I think this article is being fueled by the local pizza places.
They changed their name. So, I mean,
okay,
that's the shady part, because I think they're tricking people to buying Chuck E. Cheese pizza when if they were selling this as like, oh yeah, let's order pizza from Chuck E. Cheese on Grubhub, that's totally fine in my book. But so it's not that they're posing as a pizza restaurant. They changed their name so that people, they called themselves Pasquale's Pizza. So you order Pasquale's, you're like, this kind of tastes like Chuck E. Cheese. And then you're like, fucking it is Chuck E. Cheese. I get
It'd
now.
Be really good. It'd be really good if they were going by like Charles Cheesy Pizza.
It would be. This is what we said on this show, or was it Talking Yanks? I forget. Where I said, hey, check the brick and mortar Google of where you get Seamless and Grubhub from, because all of the bodegas have fake names. The one next to me is called Jacob's Gourmet. Like, no one has ever called it that. They call it the bodega. So, you got to Google the brick and mortar place, Google Images, to see.
I'm on both sides of this, by the way. I get why the other people are mad. I get what Chuck E. Cheese is doing. If I see Chuck E. Cheese on Grubhub, there's no chance. I mean,
there's no chance.
You become a gag pizza delivery. Like, there's a chance I would order Chuck E. Cheese and like have it delivered to you. Like, that would be the better chance of me actually getting Chuck E. Cheese pizza. And if I'm Chuck E. Cheese, I think they had one of those, like, sit down in a moment. We have one of the grossest places on earth where people aggregate. How are we going to save this business? And they say, well, we sell pizza. We can still sell pizza. And then someone says, well, nobody's going to order Chuck E. Cheese pizza. And they go, well, call or sell something else. Pasquale's.
It's great, man. I do applaud Chuck E. Cheese for doing it. You got to. And it was probably like a rogue owner. Are they a franchise? You know what I mean? Like, it was probably just a rogue owner of one Chuck E. Cheese that did this. And that corporate was like, pretty smart, dude, but you're in trouble.
BBD?
Dude, why do none of the websites work?
Let's do the Joe Rogan thing.
Joe Rogan, massive for this industry.
Have you heard the rumor?
What? There's a rumor involved?
Or the amount?
100 million.
Yeah.
10 times.
100 million. Yeah, I heard 100 million per year.
Per year.
Mm-hmm. How many years of contract then?
I'm not sure on that. I just know per year.
Because I thought he was making 10 million a year, and the way these things have been sold, like the Ringer was sold like 10 times, Barstool was like 10 times value, basically, like really high. And Spotify's been doing this. Spotify got the Ringer too, right?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
Spotify wants to be Netflix for podcasts. So they are slowly, and we spoke with people at Spotify. Like, I spoke with some employees at Spotify about us. I mean, not in the same, not even at 1/1000th of the vein. So don't even try to act like I'm doing that. I'm just saying, I was like, what's your plan? That's what I asked them. Like, how are you going to do this? Because you're still letting, they're acquiring shows and they're still letting them be everywhere. And he said, yeah, we're acquiring shows and we're letting them be everywhere for like the first year. And this is the first deal where they've let the public in on that plan, because it wasn't, I didn't get it at first. But they're acquiring Joe Rogan, and for, the remainder of the year, because I'm sure he has commitments and all this stuff, it's going to be on Spotify, but be everywhere else. So he can still build the biggest base. And then eventually, eventually it's going to be exclusive just to Spotify, but that's their whole plan. They want to be the Netflix for podcasts. They eventually want to have like the entire market. They don't want.
Basically, big companies have been trying to figure out how to get podcasts successfully behind a paywall. Because, podcasts have essentially been free for people if you want to go get them. And then, you put the ads in and things like that, et cetera, et cetera. But yeah, and I think business people have been wondering, how can we get podcasts behind a paywall, Netflix style, like you're saying? And Spotify makes the most sense, right? I mean, they're already putting audio in people's ears and people pay for it. And
But you don't even have to pay for it. Like you can still get Spotify and listen to Joe Rogan without a subscription to Spotify.
Right. But there's ads or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah. But think of the alternative. I mean, either way, if Spotify does want to get people to subscribe and pay behind a paywall, if it's $4.99 a month or even $10.99, $20, especially the Joe Rogan people. I mean, dude, those are 2-hour long podcasts or whatever once a week that people devote their life into. I mean, that's an easy transaction. We were talking about, on yesterday's JJR, your laundry conundrum. Get your laundry done, $10 and saves you time. Like, that's a no-brainer, especially the Joe Rogan people that like need to get lost in that stuff.
And they're also, they're trying to do video as well, because the biggest thing is the YouTube hit. Like we said, a lot of people listen to just clips, but I think Spotify plans to have a video component as well. But then they need to figure out a web desktop, because no one's going to watch a video on their phone. And you want to watch videos of like little clips of Joe Rogan clips and stuff like that, So it's awesome. It's between the Call Her Daddy Barstool feud and now the Joe Rogan deal, people are getting a really, really good inside look into the business of podcasting and how lucrative it is.
Yeah.
And that's cool, because we've known some of these things to an extent. Like if Spotify acquired John Boy Media, the way it would work, and this is when I talk to them, the way it would work is any show that we currently have would stay available to everyone, right? Any new show, like this doesn't happen. Joe Rogan's just one dude, but for The Ringer, like if The Ringer makes a new show, or if we were to make a new show, that's Spotify only, right? Or no, actually they said the first step would be a new show would be Spotify only for the first month. Then everyone can get it. Like the episodes drop on Spotify for the first week, however long it is, then it goes to the public, which would suck for us because we do daily content, or it'd be good for Spotify. And then the next phase is everything is just Spotify. So with Joe Rogan, because he's such a big get, they're just speeding that up. It's smart.
Yeah, the video aspect is really interesting, because I mean, I guess you could see some people going on Spotify, the app, and watching it there. I don't know. I mean, I think I've said this before, but it's one of my bigger gripes with SNL and Major League Baseball, two of the bigger things I grew up loving. SNL set themselves back a decade just like baseball did, because they refused to go on YouTube. And I mean, SNL is the perfect thing for that. It should have been the conversation around every water cooler on Monday morning. Oh, did you see this sketch? And instead, they kept it on their website, and it was hard to find old videos that they finally just caved, and they put their stuff on YouTube. So I think that part is going to be more tricky, because people are just so comfortable with YouTube, and credit to YouTube, they're also just really good at what they do. And I know that might sound dumb to some people, because it's like, oh, playing videos, how hard is that? But you have to make sure you are the best website for watching videos, and they've been that for how long now?
Since they started, it was like E-Bombs World, and then YouTube took over in 2004 or whatever. But it was way different back in the day than it is now. It was very avant-garde, like,
Exactly,
home videos and stuff like that.
But they've adapted and grown, and Vivo and all that stuff. So
yeah, podcasting, very lucrative business if you can crack it. It's crazy. Yeah. But good for Joe Rogan and good for us, because that evaluation is awesome.
Yeah, keep bumping those numbers, baby.
Every deal, because we're very young, very new, all of that. But every deal is like, 10 times, 10 times, 10 times. Like, fuck, that's cool.
That's cool.
Good for Joe Rogan. I wonder, I don't know. It is really funny that the Prez went on Call Her Daddy and did his whole spiel, you know, and that became the number one show because of that. So in all the articles about Joe Rogan, they said currently the number 2 show only behind Call Her, and it's like fucking Barstool did it again. They got the free pub again. It's crazy.
It's just what they do.
Yeah. Good for Joe Rogan. That's awesome.
Yeah, man. And the Joe Rogan story, like, you know, he was an actor. He was in some shows and stuff as kind of a role guy. He wasn't incredible. He kind of has a Joey Tribbiani look in his Newsweek episodes or whatever he's in. And then he goes on, he does Fear Factor, and, you know, he's pretty good at that, but it's, you know, Fear Factor. I mean, you look back at Fear Factor and you laugh. And then UFC, which is one of the biggest growing sport in the past 20 years. And then podcast, the biggest growing media in the past 20 years. He's kind of the king of both. And now he's huge.
Have you ever seen the clip when he goes on the Seth Green show? And it's the first time he's ever seen an at-home production with a live internet audience. It's really cool.
Internet audience. No.
Like Seth Green used to broadcast on the internet from his living room, and he would have guests come on, and then he would have callers call in and stuff. And Joe Rogan was on it, and he was like, "This is fucking awesome, man.
Yeah.
Just an instant connection with the people." It's like this, and you could see his brain just clicking and clicking. He's like, "This is the." I think he like says, "This is the future." This is way back in like 2007, maybe.
Clockwork.
It's a really cool video. You should try and check it out. But
Joe Rogan got hung up on being an actor, you probably would have never heard his name.
Dude, do you remember when
He's always doing the comedy stuff.
Do you remember when that investment group told us, well, do you want to be big or do you want to be Joe Rogan? And I was like, what? Joe Rogan's pretty big.
Yeah.
And they're like, not worth $100 million. And boom.
In between doesn't sound awful either.
Yeah. It's like, that's your bar? That's crazy.
Be half a Joe.
But I think at that time, I think he was making $10 million a year. Now he's going to make $100 million a year. Pretty nice. Pretty nice.
Boom.
All right. Let's, police drone captures giant penis moan into West Cornwall.
Okay.
And are you kidding me? Just so much. I think, try not to use ad blocker because we literally survive off people not using ad blocker.
Right.
If people use ad blocker, then that hurts us on YouTube. But they gotta, we don't do this to our audience.
No. And the bigger problem here, and if you're listening with us, we have a field that a pretty generic looking penis has been mowed into it. A little bit skinny at the base.
Pretty skinny at the base, and the balls look like a heart.
Yeah, they went heart shaped with the ball sack, which is a little unorthodox, but I kind of like it. I think the farmer should come back and say, like, this is modern art. I'm showing how the penis and the heart can be connected as one. Yeah, not just drawing a penis in my field, you sick bastards.
Yeah, no one gave the Statue of David shit. Why did the police discover this? What do you mean the police discover? Was this vandalism?
Police discovered it. I'm now you had my attention, but now you have my curiosity. I got that quote reversed.
The Devon and Cornwall police drone team shared the image.
I mean, so was the drone just floating around? That feels like an invasion of privacy.
Yeah. I don't know.
Tough.
Yeah, that's weird. A bull scratched its ass on an electric pole and okay, when you know the story that it was a bull that scratched its motherfucker. When you know the story that a bull ruined life for this whole town, it's really funny that the picture of the bull they show you. Did you see it?
Just this generic bull pick?
Yeah, just staring right at you. Like, what I do?
Yeah.
What are you blaming me for this? I was just scratching my ass.
Yeah, and we have the owners of the bull being happy because apparently the bull got shocked 11,000 volts.
Damn, is it
so
okay?
So they said Ron is happy to be alive, which is good. 4-year-old bull Ron.
That sounds like a joke Facebook post. Our bull Ron would like to apologize to everyone in Chapelton and Strathaven for causing last night's power cut to over 700 homes. He had an itchy bum, so he scratched it on the electricity pole and knocked it. I mean, it sounds like a fake, like, I think on Facebook the follow-up would be like, are you serious?
I think it sounds like a fake news story when it's not a real news story, you know?
We have a picture of the actual bull here, which is cool.
Ron?
Yeah.
The Ronimal?
There he is. He's got a nose piercing.
Incredible athlete.
Yeah. I mean, that sucks. The top response is glad he is okay.
Sure.
What a nice neighborhood.
There's a good Facebook line at the end there where the owner said, thought about renaming him Sparky.
Classic.
Sparky. You yelled motherfucker right at the beginning of that article and it never got discussed.
An ad.
Okay.
An ad popped up.
I mean, we all assume that, but
yeah,
you just, podcast, video, you just yelled.
I think they got it. BBD, did you know I had an ad?
Yeah, but I also was clicking on the.
Oh, okay. You got ad bombed too. Yeah, I just got bombed by an ad.
Yeah.
It's like,
and that website it tricked you into thinking you weren't getting an ad really well.
Yes. It was one of the more sneak attack ads I've had, and I'm at my wit's end. Hey, that's all the stories we have today. You want to do bet of the day real quick?
Oh yeah.
Bet of the day, it's the bet of the day. Bet of the day, bet of the day.
Bet of the day. It's the bet of the day. Jakey, Bundesliga. Jakey has been betting on soccer. Football. German football. So far, he's got 2 bets placed for this upcoming weekend. On Tuesday, he has the over in the Bayer Leverkusen versus Borussia Mönchengladbach game. And on Wednesday, he has Borussia Dortmund, who's currently in 3rd place, beating VfL Wolfsburg. I am with him on the over on Tuesday. I am hard against on Wednesday. I'm going with the Wolf Pack. What do you got, Jake? Are you going to lay another Bundesliga down?
I think, Jim, when I stumble into a good theory, you got to hammer that theory. And I think I'm going to stick to my over theory, that, the defenses aren't going to be organized and that nobody wants to touch each other because it's the Corona times anyways. So I'm going to go with Powerhouse, Bayern Munich, and not because it's one of the few teams that we can say, because they are playing Eintracht Frankfurt.
Mm-hmm.
Eintracht Frankfurt. The over-under is 3.5 again, and I will be going over again.
Okay. Munich's pretty good. Like
they're good.
been, I don't think their defense is going to get sloppy. Like they've been working out. And Eintracht Frankfurt actually had someone get really sick. They thought it was Corona. Turns out it wasn't. But he's out for the whole season because he thought he had Corona, got crippling anxiety. He's out. And he was one of their top players. And Frankfurt, it kind of shocked the whole team, and it rocked the foundation of their defense. So, because of all of that,
Jake is stupid, but he's smart.
I'm with you. The over.
Again, I think this is another situation where Bayern could get there on their own. So
That's what I'm saying, especially with all that stuff going on with Frankfurt and the defense being rocked by the guy's anxiety over the fake Corona scare. So that's why I got there.
You know what, Jim?
Mhm.
I'm gonna give people a little extra action. Because you can bet on how many goals they'll score. And I would bet 4 or over 3.5 goals for Bayern Munich. That pays out a little better. Don't be shy to bet that at home. Everyone enjoy your bad day.
It's good, Jake. Sprinkle in an extra for him. All right. We hope you guys have a great Memorial Day weekend. Enjoy it. Tell your loved ones that Jake sucks. Eat a lot of food. And don't touch anyone. See ya on next. I was going to say see you next Tuesday, but that's a phrase to call someone a word I don't want to say. But we will. That's the truth. Tough place to be. Goodbye.
Bye.